In this video, we will be discussing all of the different field types in Airtable and showing you what each one does specifically. So one of the great things about Airtable is the fact that you can store a lot of different dynamic types of information rather than just static text, which you could do in a regular spreadsheet. So let's just go through the full list, and I'll create a field for each field and type of field and show you exactly what it does. So first thing that you'll see in this list of fields when you create a new field is link another record. So linking to another record is probably the most powerful part about Airtable. The fact that it's a relational database means that you can connect information between two separate tables. So say we had table 1, let's just call this projects, and we had a second table called clients. We could essentially create a new field here called client for each new project in the projects table, link it to another record in the clients table, create a new field, and if we didn't have a client named client 1 in this table, you can add a new record and it'll connect it to our projects table. If we go back to our clients table, you'll see that this project that we just created is linked as well in the clients table. So that is the linked record feature. The next one will be single line text. This one is pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to be able to input any type of static text, anything that's over the length of the line, meaning if it goes outside of this span will be cut off, which are truncated in the view, but you can always click on the cell itself to see the full text. That is in comparison to the long text field, where if you click into it and your text is longer than the line that you're seeing or the cell that you're seeing, it'll actually show you everything. So just keep that in mind. Long text is obviously better for long types of information, and single line text is better for short information. So long text, one other good thing about it is that you can enable rich text formatting, which means you can include checklists, hyperlinks, headers, code blocks, and more within this field. So you click on the cell, you click on the paragraph field, and you see all these different options for what you can include inside of that cell, which is really useful for things like notes or just creating more organized notes about a specific record. So we also have the attachment field. Attachment field is another great feature. We can drag and drop things like images directly into our table, and you'll see that it's going to pop up with a nice little preview once it loads, and you can always expand it to see the full document or attachment. You can also attach things from other sources. So you can attach things from the web. You can take a photo directly from Airtable or from your browser, Google Drive, Dropbox, Facebook, OneDrive. So there's a lot of different ways to import an attachment into here. Next will be the checkbox. You can have a checkbox, which is really nice for kind of things like to-do lists or just tracking whether or not something has been done for a particular project, like a certain step. You can have checkboxes, X's, stars, hearts, thumbs up, flags, or a dot. Next thing will be multiple select. So multiple select is going to give you multiple options. And you can include those, multiple of them, in a single cell. The next one will be single select, which is very similar, but you'll only be able to select a single one of those for each. So really great for things like statuses or drop downs. The user field. So user is actually a really interesting field. So anybody who's added as a collaborator to this base, you can select them from this menu. You can search for their name or their email, and they'll be tagged to that record, and you can have them be notified anytime that they are added to a specific record. So that's really useful, as well as being able to add multiple users to the same record as well. Date fields, you have the option to have native dates inside of your Airtable base. Choose a different date format, whichever works for you. And the times are not separated in Airtable, so anytime you want to include a time in a record, you have to also include a date field and then add the time feature to that date field. You can show a 12 or 24-hour format, and you can choose to show the same time zone for all collaborators, which you can select from this list, as well as the ability to display the time zone in the field that you created. So once you create the field, you have the option to select exactly which date you want to use, and it will show up with the time and the time zone. Next will be the phone number. Pretty self-explanatory. It's going to allow you to input a phone number in here, and it'll format it nicely for you with all the dashes and the parentheses. Email, again, this is pretty self-explanatory, but it will nicely format that email for you. And then if you click on this link, it's going to take you to your default mail app and allow you to send an email. Next will be the URL. So URLs are links. Again, very useful for being able to just click directly on this and be taken to whatever site that your page is linking to. We also have number fields. So number field, you can have a decimal or an integer and then choose the precision that you want for that, and then choose whether or not you can allow negative numbers into that cell. And then you can also default the cell with a particular number, 0 or something like that, depending on your needs. Currency, again, is pretty useful if you're trying to track money or anything with revenue. Again, you can choose the precision as well as what your currency symbol will be, and choose to allow negative numbers or not, and again, choose the default. Percents are going to work again the same. Choose the precision, choose whether or not to allow negatives, and then default. The duration field, so this is going to allow you to first choose what format you want your duration to be in, and then this is going to be in time, in minutes and seconds. So say this is 1 hour and 30 minutes, it will show you that duration here. So this isn't 1:30, this is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Ratings, choose the style of rating that you want. This is kind of similar to that checkbox field. And then choose the number of that style element that you want in that particular field. All right, next we have formulas. So formulas, you can create a whole video on formulas alone because there's quite a lot of formulas you can use, similar to how you would do it in Excel. You type in a formula, you can do something like an if statement. So if, say, the value field is greater than 100, this field will be a lot, and if it isn't, it'll be a little. So as you can see, that formula is going to apply to every cell in this column. So you can't set a cell-specific formula in Airtable because it is a database and not a spreadsheet. So it enforces that format throughout every single cell in that column. We also have roll-up fields. So roll-up fields are going to be based on the linked record that are inside of this particular table. So there's only one linked record field in our table, so client, and then it's going to allow you to choose a field to roll up. So rolling up is essentially taking a field from another table and applying a function to it. So say we wanted to count the number of clients that were associated with this particular project. You could do something like a count function here, count values. Usually you want to use count A, which is count the unique values. And then this is always going to be values. This variable is always going to be values. It's just going to be whatever comes out of this, this linked record relationship. So when I do this, it's going to show me 1 because we have one client with one unique name. You could also do things like choose the, say we had revenue or something like that. And we had, say just client 2, and we say $100 here, $100 here. If we go back to this table, and we associate client 1 as well as client 2 with this, you'll see that the name or the count of the number of names is going to sum to 2. So say we wanted to count, instead of the name, we wanted to count the currency, so the amount of revenue for all the clients. So let's actually make this a sum function. You'll see that it's going to roll up all the revenue fields for all the clients that are associated with this particular project. All right, so the last couple ones, count is pretty self-explanatory. It's going to just count the number of linked records that are associated with this particular project. So you choose exactly what linked record you linked record field you want to count up, and then it's going to give you the count of those. You can also choose for any of these linked record rollups or lookups or counts fields. You can choose to only include certain ones that have certain conditions. So where the status is a certain value, you can limit the function calculation to only include those types of records, or those records with those conditions. Next we have the lookup. So lookup is also really interesting. This is going to allow you, instead of counting or summing or averaging the values from a particular linked record field, it'll simply allow you to pull the value itself into this table. So if we pull the name from this client field, it will pull the name directly into this table. All right, so the last few ones are created time. Created time is going to allow you, again, to just have a time field you can include a date or time or not, but it'll allow you to pull in the exact time this record was created. This is not editable, so this will always be the right time that your record was created. You'll also have the last modified time, which is also really interesting because it allows you to say when the record itself was edited, but also when a specific field within the record is edited. So if we only wanted to know when the status was changed, at what time the status was changed, we can create a field that is based on that particular value. So if I change this to do, that last modified time is going to change to exactly when I changed that. Created by is going to pull in the exact person who created the field or created the record. Last modified by, again, you can choose which fields to trigger this based on, but it's going to allow you to pull in the last user that modified that field. Auto number is going to increment a unique counter for each record, so it's going to automatically pull the number or the count or the number in the sequence that this record is, which is pretty useful for unique IDs and things like that, because no two records will have the same auto number. Barcode is pretty interesting as well, because you can actually pull in this barcode field is more useful for the mobile app. So when you're in the app, you would have the ability to actually scan in the barcode of whatever. Say you had a product inventory, and once you scan that barcode, it will automatically pull in the ID that that barcode represents. The last field is the button field, which I think is also fantastic. So you essentially choose what you want it to look like, what you want the label to be, and what you want this button to do. So there's a lot of options here. You can open a link, you can run a script, preview a URL, open Page Designer, send an email, send a text message, create a document, attach photos, or open a custom extension. And then you choose, say if we're doing open URL, you can choose a function to represent our URL. You could hard code a URL in here if you wanted to, but you can also pull in the URL field here. And so when you click on this button, it'll actually open that URL in your browser as well. So that is all of the different fields in Airtable. Hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for the next video.